Welcome back to the pits. If you're a Porsche enthusiast looking to go racing or an aspiring driver looking to enter the world of national level motorsport, the GT3 Cup Challenge provides the perfect platform to find your motor racing feat. The philosophy for this category is simply race with your mates, as our Dean Canto found out.
It's another Saturday morning, about an hour outside Adelaide, at Mallala Raceway, and the place is alive with the sound of race cars. This is motor racing at the grassroots, and one of the series on the track today is the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge, a single make category that welcomes most comers, with drivers like Peter Fitzgerald.
It's 37 years I've been in Porsches, so yeah, I've got a bit of a history with them.
That's longer. That's actually more than my age, mate. You've been around a while.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
And others, like Matt Campbell.
I got a go-kart when I was 4 and just hooned around it until I grew out of it as such. And then, you know, my auntie taught me how to drive when I was young, and then just progressed on car racing, I suppose, but never competed in any kart races or anything like that.
Yeah, well, GT3 Challenge is designed as an entry-level competition for one-make Porsches, so guys that have been perhaps doing a bit of car club stuff, you know, even through the Porsche driving experience, and they want to get a taste of driving a cup car.
Cam McConville works for Porsche and runs the GT3 Cup Challenge. He's an accomplished driver himself, having enjoyed a long career in V8 supercars. These days, McConville works hard to make it possible for a range of other people to compete in Australian motorsport, encouraging, advising and mentoring other drivers.
There's a very different makeup, you know, of guys in GT3 Challenge. So you've got businessmen racers that have been successful in their own businesses, and fortunately they can go and buy a car and pay the bills themselves, put their company on the side. Then you've got guys like Peter Fitzgerald that doesn't own the car, actually has a customer of his that buys the car and he's aspiring to drive it himself. And then you've got the young guys, you know, coming through like Fraser Ross and Matt Campbell that are using it as a stepping stone to Carrera Cup. So predominantly it's set up for those gentleman drivers, business drivers, but also now it's as well as a young proving ground for Carrera Cup.
So you want to be a race car driver? Well, the GT3 Cup Challenge Series is a great place to start. The cars are relatively easy to drive and very affordable.
We've had a few guys come from Formula Ford. A guy called Matt Campbell's currently running in an 06 model 997, so that puts him in Class B, and he's running in the top 5 or 6 outright in a Class B car. And I think for him, he'll win Class B this year in GT3 Challenge and then step up into Carrera Cup, and from there potentially V8 supercars. It also opens up opportunities for GT racing and perhaps sports car overseas. So I think GT3 Challenge is where it starts, and hopefully we can foster their careers into Carrera Cup.
It's certainly different from the high-profile motorsport categories, but don't be fooled. Racing in the GT3 Cup Challenge is fiercely competitive and very fast. Each year there is a calendar of 6 events staged on professional tracks, with fields stacked with some very talented drivers.
Sam, you've never raced anything in your life. You've hopped straight into the GT3 Cup Challenge. What are some of the hardest things you've found, 1 with the car and obviously 2 with racing?
Look, this is a terrific car in a terrific category. It is a brutal car. It is raw machine. There's no ABS, no traction control. So you really feel like you have to get the most out of yourself to drive them well.
This is your first year in the Carrera Cup Challenge in the GT3 series.
Yep.
How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I love the cars, and I'm surrounding myself with good teams. So, you know, the experience has been great, and you know, I just can't wait to keep going. So.
What are you looking at doing after this series, or how long are you looking at staying here?
I mean, after this year, like if we can do the whole series, I'd like to move in Carrera Cup. But you know, that's next year. I'll just focus on this year and see if we can keep going.
Have you had any run-ins with anyone?
There was a little run-in at Eastern Creek. It is such a different sport from doing test track days. You're on your own, you do your own thing, you don't have to worry about your mirrors. But I found in a race meet, it's incredible. Even if a track that is familiar, you're running a little slower. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's people around you, but it is a terrific challenge, and they're a great bunch of guys. They're all mostly professionals. They want to do well, so it's a great medium to be involved in.
What do you enjoy, or tell me what you like the most about the series?
The guys I race against. Quite frankly, I've run a lot of series in my life, but the camaraderie between all the competitors here is fantastic. When the guys have an incident, like young Jack next door to us, we all try to pitch in and help, and that's the nicest thing about this category at the moment.
Look, this is a very affordable way to go Porsche one-make racing. You know, if you look at GT racing, they're talking sort of 400,000 upwards to compete a season. At GT3 Challenge, they're an older model car, so you can buy a car probably for 60,000, up to last year's Carrera Cup cars, you know, around about the 130, 140,000. And to do a round of the series, we have 6 rounds at various tracks around the country, but you're looking at about 10, 12,000 a round. So there's 60, 70,000 to run a season, and as little as 60,000 can buy you a Porsche that can get you into GT3 Challenge, and away you go. So I think value for money, it's one of the better one-make categories in the world.
Absolutely, and it's also got life for the old bastards like myself.
Do you have any aspirations to go to Formula One after this year, mate, or do you Carrera Cup, or you're happy here playing with the gentleman drivers?
No, I'm happy staying here, mate, and trying to mentor the younger blokes and help them out and still have a bit of fun.
The aim's always been to end up in V8s, and you know, that's what I've always looked up to, and I've always watched Formula One, but I've never really wanted to go to Formula One. So you know, V8s is what I've always wanted to do, and hopefully that's what I can do.
Can our viewers at home hop into one of these cars and be competitive?
Well, I suppose that's a tricky one. I mean, if they've had some sort of motorsport, I'd say yes. If this is their first step into car racing or circuit racing, they're probably going to take a little while, because there's some young guys like Fraser Ross at the front, and then you've got the experienced campaigners like Peter Fitzgerald, John Goodacre, that have been racing for 20 plus years. So it'd probably be a little bit ambitious to say they're going to be competitive straight up, but I think a season under their belt in GT3 Challenge, they can look at competing for outright in the second year, and then hopefully eyeing off the Carrera Cup after that.
Dean Canto there from Malala. Up next, the legend of Ayrton Senna.
I lifted the window. I was looking right down. I shouted him, and he came up and sprayed the champagne.